Good evening, I'm Matt Woodman. This is CTV News at 5. Tonight, new policies for patients, the changes the province is making to improve cancer care. Manslaughter sentence, how many years a local man will spend behind bars for killing a teenager. And signs of support, how fans are showing their Oilers pride ahead of Game 2.
CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Matt Woodman.
The province is introducing new breast cancer screening policies as well as fertility assistance for people about to undergo cancer treatment. The Premier says it will make things easier for Albertans as they navigate a sudden cancer diagnosis. CTV's Connor Hogg reports.
A room full of UCP MLAs joined the Premier and the Primary and Preventative Health Services Minister Wednesday to detail new screening policies and IVF treatment options they say will help people navigate a cancer diagnosis. The government is spending $2.25 million on a new onco-fertility program.
This program will pay for IVF treatment for more than 250 patients, helping them preserve the possibility of building a family after treatment.
Fertility groups say they want this to be the start of more changes to improve access for cancer patients.
We will work closely with the provincial government as a partner to develop an onco-fertility preservation policy that empowers men and women to freeze eggs, sperm, embryos, and ovarian tissue.
In addition, women who are 40 and over will soon be able to self-refer for free breast cancer screenings.
This change will make more than 193,000 additional women eligible for screening, and that matters. Early detection means cancer can be found sooner.
The money for screening expansions and the onco-fertility program will come out of the primary and preventative care budget. The opposition agrees that while earlier cancer screenings are needed, additional supports would help those who will now qualify.
There is no family doctor to help them interpret their results. There is no access for them into cancer care. It can cause an even bigger problem.
The announcement was an emotional one for Smith and LaGrange.
It's an impossible choice. Thinking of a young woman at 32, having 48 hours to make a decision like that, knowing the pathway is going to change.
My dad wasn't there when I got married, so I was only 15 and a half when my dad passed away. So it is emotional because it's real lives.
Breast cancer self-referrals for women over 40 will start next April. The province says the new onco-fertility program will be fully developed and implemented by 2027. Connor Hogg, CTV News, Edmonton.
The Premier says Albertans need to try permanent daylight saving time before deciding whether they like it.
Let's see how people are after they've lived it through this winter, because again, as I say, no one's shy of telling me what their opinion is, and so I'm sure we'll get a gauge on whether or not people think that we've made a mistake.
Smith says she suspects Albertans will prefer a later sunrise in the winter as opposed to the 4 a.m. sun up in the summer. The Premier says a time change question could be added to the ballot during the 2027 provincial election. It will not be part of October's referendum, though. Smith says that's too close to the fall time change, and industries which rely on advanced scheduling, like airlines and the National Hockey League, need more notice. The man who killed a 15-year-old boy from St. Albert who was out walking his dog learned his fate this afternoon. He was sentenced to 14 years in prison after pleading guilty to manslaughter. CTV's Amanda Anderson has the details.
Broden's birthday is coming up on the 28th. He would be 17.
Instead of planning a birthday celebration for her son, Sherry Morin faced his killer in court as she described life without him.
Just how big of a part of my life he was, and the hole that's left behind after now that he's gone.
15-year-old Broden Radomski was killed in May 2024. He was walking his dog with his mom and younger brother when they were joined by friends of the family. Keith Landry was with them. Landry pulled a knife from his pocket, ran up behind Radomski and slit his throat. He died within minutes. Morin told the court she lost more than just her son because of Landry's actions.
I don't have custody of my younger son now, and even the dog that we were walking that night has since passed as well. So really, when I say I lost my family, every member of my family is not in my life anymore. So I do see Blake, my youngest, but things are different now.
Several of the teens' friends also read victim impact statements in court, often through tears. They spoke about what Radomski meant to them, how his murder robbed them of being able to grow up together, and how they continue to struggle with the loss. Landry pleaded guilty to manslaughter instead of the second-degree murder charge he was facing. Manslaughter sentences can range from no jail time to life, while second-degree murder is life with no chance of parole for at least 10 years. The Crown and Defence presented a joint sentence recommendation of 14 years, which the justice accepted.
In reality, he's not going to serve that much time. There's not going to be justice. I'm unhappy that it's a manslaughter charge because there is intent there. When you slice a child's throat, you don't expect that they're going to live.
When given a chance to address the court and Radomski's loved ones, Landry said no thank you. With time already served, he has about 11 years left on his sentence. Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Edmonton.
Alberta's appeal court has ordered a new trial for a man sentenced to life in the death of his common-law partner. Ryan Applegarth was convicted of second-degree murder in the death of Chantel Firing-Stoney in 2020. The appeal court says the Crown lacked the evidence to show Applegarth intended to kill. One person is recovering from smoke inhalation after a fire at an apartment in central Edmonton. Edmonton Fire Rescue says the fire was reported around 2 a.m. Crews had it out about an hour later. They say the fire was largely contained to one unit. The person brought to hospital was treated for smoke inhalation. No word yet on how that fire started. The mayor is putting bad builders on notice. He says if you break the city's construction rules, there will be consequences. Complaints about messy construction sites, inconsiderate workers, and improper excavations have been on the rise since the city's new zoning rules kicked in more than 2 years ago. In response, the city is ramping up enforcement efforts on all projects through the Construction Accountability Program. One aspect will evaluate builders' performance by how well they follow the rules. Too many violations will land a company on the high oversight list. Those builders would require more detailed permit applications for future projects. They would also need to take a training course and pay for a compliance officer to monitor their worksite.
If you've got somebody who's a bad builder who has been proven to not follow the rules, they should be required to actually pay for the cost of a city enforcement staff who will be on site while they're building, ensuring they're following the rules.
The city has already created a coordinated construction accountability team to investigate complaints. Other elements like the high oversight label are coming later this year and in early 2027. The Edmonton Oilers are looking to take a 2-0 series lead tonight in their opening round playoff matchup against the Anaheim Ducks. The puck drops on Game 2 in about 3 hours. CTV's Evan Kenny joins us from inside Rogers Place this evening. So, Evan, what are you hearing from the team and fans ahead of Game 2?
Matt, the Oilers know that they'll need more production from their stars if they want to be successful in these playoffs. Game 1 was the first time this season that Connor McDavid did not record a point in an Oilers win. Now, the fans are hoping that he will be a gem tonight. They say they want to be wowed or even dazzled. As the Oilers get set for Game 2 tonight,
I just completed the McDavid one. My Draisaitl is in the works.
Fans are getting ready to cheer on the team.
Best time of the year, yes, absolutely.
At her home in Sherwood Park, Linda Balicki has spent dozens of hours bedazzling jackets, jerseys, and purses.
I've loved sparkles my whole life. I've loved the Oilers my whole life, so why not marry the two? I was stopped 100 times at the game.
Now she's completed a 3-foot wide sign.
It took me roughly 61 hours to complete. It has over 35,000 gems on them. The silver ones are Swarovski crystal ones, so a little bit more expensive, but they just pop.
Signs around the city are popping up in support of the Oilers. The McKinnon Ravine Park sign off of 142nd Street has received a makeover. Someone has now dubbed it the McDavid Ravine Park.
Seeing the fans and how much pride they have in that, and the boys battling, made me really want to be on the ice.
Balicki hopes the Game 1 win is a sign of good things to come.
I hope a Stanley Cup, and I want to see a Stanley Cup in my lifetime. This is my way of saying thank you.
She plans on giving the sign to the Oilers, hoping it can be auctioned off for charity. The Oilers will not be receiving any charity or gifts on the ice. The team says the Ducks are one of the most skilled teams, and they expect a pushback in Game 2. Josh Szymanski, who we did just hear from, will be making his playoff debut. He'll be in place of Adam Henrique, who was injured on Monday. Matt?
All right, Evan Kenny down at Rogers Place tonight. Thank you. Well, a little rain didn't stop hundreds of volunteers from celebrating Earth Day with a citywide litter cleanup. Earth Day cleanups organized by Goodwill took place today at more than 30 locations around Edmonton. Goodwill says the goal is to inspire people to keep their neighborhoods clean.
We are already predicting White Ave to be hopping during the Stanley Cup playoffs, so why not be a great place to celebrate hockey and everything that's Edmonton and for the next couple of weeks in a beautiful area, in a clean area.
Goodwill also held community cleanups in Calgary and Grand Prairie. Well, Josh, I'm hoping we can clean the forecast up after 2 beautiful days with daytime highs in the 20s. We're coming back to reality here.
Yeah, it's going to be awfully chilly here for the rest of this week and windy as well. Gusts today have been, for the most part, in the 30 to 40 kilometer per hour range. They're going to be even stronger tomorrow and Friday. Gusts tomorrow, 50 to 60 kilometers per hour. We're at 5 degrees right now with wind out of the north, 20 gusting to about 30, a little stronger off to the northeast of the city. 11 will go down as the official daytime high. Yeah, that came in early this morning, just after midnight. We'll get to about 2 degrees here before midnight tonight, so that'll likely go down as the low for today. This will end up looking like a fairly average day, although really for the last 4 or 5 hours, temperatures have kind of hovered right around 5 or 6 degrees. It has not snowed yet here in the Edmonton area. That may happen later this week. I don't think we'll get heavy snow like they're getting in northeastern Alberta. This is from Ruth Lake. This is just south of Fort McKay, north of Fort McMurray. A couple centimeters of snow. Thanks to Matt Grayson for sending that in. There's a lot more on the way in through that area. You've got a wind warning in the southeast, snowfall warning in the southwest, and here in the northeast. Could see upwards of 20, maybe 25 centimeters of snow in parts of northeastern Alberta. And then a rainfall warning, especially for areas north of Lloydminster. We've had some heavy, steady rain, which has been falling on top of frozen surfaces. And so we are getting reports of a little bit of overland flooding. Even on some of the roadways, you're seeing some water wash across that, which is not great news. This starts to transition over to snow and temperatures drop. Roads are going to be really icy in through east central Alberta overnight tonight and into tomorrow. Some flurries as well across the northwest. But here in Edmonton, I think we'll actually see a few breaks in the cloud cover this evening. It's tomorrow, late afternoon and into the evening, that we run the best chance of seeing some snow. Temperature-wise, about 3 or 4 for a daytime high with gusty wind.
All right, Josh, thank you. Coming up next on CTV News, going nuclear. The province releases a report exploring the potential for nuclear energy in Alberta.
But it does tell us that Albertans are open to nuclear energy within our province.
The CTV drone powered by Century Casino. 3 great locations: Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile. Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
You're watching CTV News at 5.
A panel tasked with exploring the use of nuclear power in the province says Albertans are open to the idea. The Nuclear Energy Engagement and Advisory Panel was formed last August. It engaged with more than 600 Albertans in Edmonton, Calgary, Fort McMurray, Peace River, and Bonnyville. The report shows many participants recognize the benefits of nuclear energy, like producing electricity, creating jobs, and driving investment. Others expressed concerns about safety, radiation, nuclear waste, the environment, and emergency management.
Releasing this report does not represent a decision to proceed with nuclear development, but it does tell us that Albertans are open to nuclear energy within our province, which allows us to consider such a decision in the future.
The province says it will review the panel's recommendations. They include enhancing the public's understanding of nuclear energy, getting municipalities and Indigenous communities involved in future projects, and exploring the economic implications. The Edmonton Riverboat is back on the North Saskatchewan River. CTV's Curtis Goodrum has more on the excitement before it sets sail for the first time this season.
Spring on the North Saskatchewan. The last of the ice flows past the Edmonton Riverboat after a long winter.
This is the most stressful and most exciting time of the entire year.
Fresh paint for each paddle, the crew polishing up the River Valley attraction, almost ready to welcome passengers.
There's a lot of setup, a lot of maintenance and improvements that we've been doing.
With long breaks between seasons, staff say it's like opening a new restaurant every spring.
The intense part usually is the first 1 to 2 weeks. Once we get comfortable, we're ready to give her throughout the season. It's a very quick season. We become a family here.
The Riverboat's owner says it set sail with 35,000 guests last year, up about 10,000 from the first year under his ownership. After 31 years of floating through the heart of Edmonton, he believes it has become a key part of the city.
Being the only riverboat in Edmonton, it's kind of a staple for the Edmonton tourism industry.
The 52 long meter boat hosts as many as 800 guests a day. It's not just about enjoying the journey. Often, it's a floating celebration. Weddings, holidays, Mother's and Father's Days.
We get to do different things and do different parties and functions, so it's super fun.
The Edmonton Riverboat will set sail May the 7th, and the team cannot wait to set sail and get started for the season.
When you're out on the water, there's a really special energy that I think is hard to replicate.
With the boat now in the water, tickets are on sale through their website. Curtis Goodrum, CTV News, Edmonton.
Still to come tonight on CTV News, a river rescue, how firefighters saved a dog from the North Saskatchewan.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
A dog was rescued from the North Saskatchewan River this morning after it was spotted drifting on an ice floe. Edmonton Fire says just before 7 o'clock, someone saw the dog near the Dewatna Bridge. Rescue crews managed to coax the dog to safety about an hour later. Edmonton Fire says the dog was doing well when it was brought to the city's animal care and control team. It's reminding people to keep pets leashed near the river. It also says you should never try and rescue a pet yourself. Instead, call 911. Well, Josh, I wish someone would rescue us from this winter-like weather we might be experiencing. Okay, it's not that bad. Maybe a couple flurries?
It hasn't even started yet.
I know, I'm already complaining.
Yeah, I can't imagine. Fridays, he's going to be miserable. By early next week, it'll warm back up.
Can we just get to May already? Come on.
Take a look outside right now. The Action Furnace River Valley Skycam. Action Furnace, fixed right, it's free. We're at 5 degrees. Told you we might see a few breaks in the cloud. We're already seeing a little bit of blue peeking through the cloud cover there. 5 degrees is where we've been for most of this afternoon. We'll be closer to 0 for daytime highs later this week. 0 in Fort McMurray right now. It's 7s in Grand Prairie and Red Deer, and everybody looking at some fairly gusty wind. Here's your temperature trend for the next couple of days. About 4 degrees, 3 or 4 for a high tomorrow. Around 0. I've got -1s for Friday, Saturday. And then we're back to double digits by Tuesday. Back to around or above average middle to the end of next week. Should be a fairly nice mild to warm start to May. There's the snow that's falling fairly heavily across the northeast. Some steadier rain further to the south. And we've had a few bands of showers in the Edmonton area as well. This one just starting to sneak out the east end of the city. Rainfall warnings in blue, snowfall warnings here in red, and then a wind warning in the southeast. It's going to be really windy, not just in the southeast corner of the province, though, right across Alberta through the day tomorrow. As we said, could see 20+ centimeters of snow in that red zone as rainfall warning is going to be ended here early this evening. It may actually change over to a snowfall warning in the coming days, and we'll show you why in a moment. This is to the end of the day tomorrow, 10 p.m. Thursday. 15 to 20 centimeters of snow, Fort McMurray. Not much for Cold Lake, Lloydminster. Not much for Edmonton. Some heavier snow here in the purple zones through the foothills and mountain parks. Look at what happens, though, Thursday night through the day Friday and into early Saturday. You could potentially see 10 to 20 centimeters worth of snow, Cold Lake, Lloydminster, maybe 20 to 30 around the Wainwright Coronation regions. Here in Edmonton, I think we get a couple centimeters of snow. There will be some accumulation. And if these heavier pockets here do back up a little further to the west, maybe we get closer to 10. I'm really skeptical that we get 10 centimeters of snow. I think a lot of this is going to be melting on contact. It's mostly on grassy areas that you're going to see a couple centimeters by the end of the week and into Saturday. Let's play this out. You got a big low pressure system off to the east. That's going to spin the cold air back through and wave after wave of flurries. But as long as this stays well to the east, this is mainly going to be for areas east of the Edmonton region that we have the risk of some heavier snow. So there's late in the day tomorrow. Best chance for some snow is going to be around supper time and into the evening hours. Heavier snow off to the southeast of the Edmonton region through the day Friday and into Saturday. And it's just occasional flurries or periods of light snow in the Edmonton region Thursday night, Friday, and Saturday. -2 tomorrow morning in Edmonton, -4 for Fort McMurray, about -2 in Grand Prairie. You'll get back to 5 tomorrow. You're stuck at about -2 in the afternoon in Fort McMurray, 3 degrees in Red Deer, and windy right across the province. Here in the city, look at your wind gusts, 30 to 40 tonight, 50 to 60 kilometer per hour gusts through most of the day tomorrow. Temperatures slightly below zero Friday, Saturday, and after another windy one Friday, the wind finally dies down. Temperatures finally start to warm back up early next week.
All right, Josh, thank you. A high school in southeast Edmonton celebrated its diverse cultural makeup today. Students at J. Piercy Page participated in One Page, Many Worlds. It's a student-led celebration showcasing traditional food and clothing along with dancing and games. The festival is organized and run by students.
This is the Philippines! It's the Philippines!
And then you pour flavors into it, and then you just mix it and you just enjoy the...
This is the African booth, kind of. It's from countries such as Congo, Ghana, Nigeria, and even Tanzania.
And also Burundi. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
One Page, Many Worlds has been celebrated at J. Piercy Page for 18 years. When we return, a feathered festival. Hundreds of local bird watchers will be making the trip to Beaver County.
Thursday on Your Morning, more on a widespread YouTube campaign using fake videos to promote Alberta separation, plus an AI version of Val Kilmer will soon be used in a movie. We talk about the future of artificial actors in Hollywood.
Hundreds of bird watchers from the Edmonton area will celebrate the spring migration this weekend. The Snow Goose Festival will include tours and hikes around Beaver Hill Lake in Beaver County. Buses will be available from Edmonton and Towfield for tours to view snow geese, waterfowl, and other spring birds. The event also includes a trade show at the Towfield Curling Rink, which features displays, kids' activities, live birds, and educational discussions. Organizers say participants are guaranteed to see some geese.
Saturday morning, our scouts will be out there figuring out exactly where the geese are, so when people get on the buses, the first bus leaves at 8 in the morning, they know exactly where they're going. They've got a map, they've got a dot on the map, so they're not going looking, they've got a destination.
For more information or to buy tickets, head to snowgoosefestival.ca. That's our show. Thanks for watching. CTV News continues right now.